Albania is a rising star on the Mediterranean. For many people, it's still an unfamiliar name, overshadowed by neighbors like Greece or Italy. But that's exactly why it's so interesting right now. Albania feels like one of the last countries in Europe where the Mediterranean is still raw, affordable, and not fully discovered. When people finally visit, they're surprised by how much is packed into one small country. Albania has a way of feeling larger than it looks on a map. Every region carries its own character. Some areas are lively, others quiet. Some feel deeply traditional, others are moving fast toward the future. The contrasts make Albania unpredictable in the best way, and that's part of what sets it apart. Albania has been shaped by thousands of years of history. Empires came and went, borders shifted, and influences blended. What remains today is a mix you can feel everywhere, not just in monuments but in daily life. Ancient legacies, Ottoman traces, Italian styles, and more modern touches are all visible if you look, but nothing feels staged. It's a place where history is still part of the atmosphere. That long and sometimes difficult past also gave Albanians a strong sense of identity. They are proud of their independence, proud of their language, and proud of their resilience. Few countries in Europe went through the kind of isolation Albania experienced in the 20th century. For decades, it was closed off from the world. Travel was nearly impossible, outside influence was restricted, and the country stood alone. When the borders opened in the 1990s, Albania began a rapid transformation, and you can still feel that energy today. Albania in 2025 feels like a country in transition. It's modernizing quickly, yet daily life still carries traditions that haven't disappeared. In the capital, Tirana, new buildings and colorful facades stand alongside reminders of the past. Smaller towns still move at a slower pace, but even there you see changes. New businesses, new ideas, and new connections with the outside world. What makes this moment unique is that Albania hasn't yet gone through the full cycle of mass tourism and inflated costs. It's still at a stage where you can experience the country without feeling like everything has been built for outsiders. That authenticity, that sense of seeing a place before the rest of the world, is a rare experience today. One of the biggest reasons Albania is getting attention is cost. In 2025, it's still one of the cheapest countries on the Mediterranean. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in a central area averages $400 to $500 per month, and outside the center it can drop to $300. Utilities, water, electricity, and internet add another $100, which means most people can live comfortably on $700 to $900 per month. Food and daily expenses are just as light. A simple local meal often costs $5 to $7, and even a bigger dinner for two is rarely more than $30. Groceries for a family can stay under $100 per week if you shop local. Transportation remains affordable as well, whether you're taking buses, shared rides, or taxis. Even mobile and internet services are inexpensive compared to much of Europe, which is one reason why digital nomads are starting to take notice. What makes Albania stand out is not just the low numbers, but what you get for them. Life here doesn't feel cheap, it feels manageable. You can live in a Mediterranean country, enjoy its culture, and not constantly worry about costs spiraling out of control. Albania has a culture that's both proud and welcoming. Family plays a central role, traditions are passed down, and hospitality is taken seriously. Visitors often notice how open people are, whether in cities or small towns. There's a pride in sharing the country because for so long it wasn't on the world's radar. Music, dance, and festivals remain important parts of Albanian culture, and they give a sense of continuity with the past. At the same time, younger Albanians are connected with the wider world, bringing in global influences and mixing them with local traditions. The result is a society that feels dynamic, not stuck in the past but not abandoning it either. Tourism is growing quickly, but Albania hasn't reached the point of being overrun. There are no endless rows of commercial resorts, no coastlines completely built over. Instead, you find smaller guest houses, family-run places, and towns that still look and feel lived in. That creates a sense of discovery that many travelers miss in more famous Mediterranean destinations. And discovery is the right word. People often arrive with low expectations, simply curious, and leave genuinely surprised. They talk about the friendliness, the atmosphere, and the fact that Albania doesn't feel like anywhere else. That word of mouth is one of the reasons interest is climbing so fast. Part of what makes Albania stand out is the comparison to its neighbors. Greece and Italy are beautiful, but also crowded and expensive. Montenegro and Croatia are becoming more polished and more costly each year. Albania, by contrast, is still at a stage where it feels affordable and approachable. You don't get the sense that the country has been reshaped only for visitors. Instead, you step into a place where life carries on, and that makes the experience feel authentic. For people who want the Mediterranean lifestyle, like the food, the sea, the atmosphere, without paying premium prices, Albania is one of the few options left. And as more people discover it, that balance may shift, which is why now feels like the right moment to pay attention. Albania's affordability and openness are creating opportunities. Retirees see it as a place where their pensions stretch further. Digital nomads recognize the low costs, reliable internet, and growing international connections. Investors look at it as a country still early in its development curve, with potential for growth. At the same time, the government has been working to make the country more appealing to outsiders, easing visa rules and improving infrastructure. Roads, airports, and services are expanding, slowly but steadily. All of this means Albania is positioning itself as more than just a hidden corner. It's preparing for a bigger role on the Mediterranean stage. So why does Albania feel different in 2025? It's the combination of things: the affordability, the variety, the authenticity, the fact that it hasn't been overwhelmed by mass tourism, the way it mixes old traditions with modern changes, and above all, the sense of discovery. The feeling that you're experiencing a Mediterranean country before it's fully transformed by outside demand. That's something rare. In most parts of Europe, discovery is long gone, but in Albania, it's still there, and that's why people who come here often say, it feels refreshing. Albania is no longer just an unknown name on the map. It's a country in transition, moving quickly, but still holding onto its roots. It offers landscapes as varied as anywhere in the region, a culture that is proud and resilient, and a cost of living that makes Mediterranean life possible without breaking the bank. For travelers, for expats, for anyone searching for a new chapter, Albania deserves attention. It's welcoming, it's affordable, and it's real. In a Mediterranean world that often feels crowded and overpriced, Albania stands out as one of the last genuine discoveries left. So why does Albania feel different in 2025? It's not just one reason. It's the combination of things: the affordability, the variety, the authenticity, the fact that it hasn't been overwhelmed by mass tourism, the way it blends old traditions with modern change, and above all, the sense of discovery, that feeling you're experiencing a Mediterranean country before it's transformed by outside demand. That sense of discovery is something rare. Across most of Europe, tourism has been shaping places for decades. Prices rise, towns shift their identity, and the experience becomes less about the place and more about what outsiders expect to see. In Albania, that hasn't fully happened yet. Daily life still feels like it belongs to the locals, not to the visitors. And stepping into that world gives a freshness people don't expect to find anymore. The country is still in transition, balancing between its past and its future. On one side, you see resilience, pride, and traditions that survived isolation. On the other, you see progress, openness, and a younger generation eager to connect with the world. That balance, between holding on and moving forward, is what makes Albania stand out. Albania is no longer just an unknown name on the map. It's a country that's changing quickly but still rooted in who it is. It offers variety in its landscapes, a culture that's resilient and proud, and a cost of living that makes Mediterranean life accessible in a way few countries still can. For travelers, it's a place of surprises. For expats, it's a chance to build a life without the heavy expenses of the West. For anyone searching for a new chapter, it's a reminder that there are still places in Europe that feel fresh and real. And that's why Albania matters now. It's welcoming, it's affordable, and it's authentic. In a Mediterranean world that often feels crowded and overpriced, Albania stands out as one of the last true discoveries left. And for those who are willing to look beyond the obvious, it may be one of the most rewarding.